Hi everyone, it's Wendy. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing another revisit, and this time I'm revisiting my book page tags or tuck spots. And I did these a long time ago, many years ago, where I've put a book page on cardstock, did a tab and sewed around them and just decorated them a little. This time I'm going to use some embossed paper to add to it to add a tuck spot. And so I've got, this is from Bumper, I'm using tags from Bumper Birds and tags from Bumper Florals, I think they are, it might be Bumper Botanicals. And then I've got a little Tim Holtz clip on the top. I just think that looks really, really cool. And this makes a beautiful tuck spot in a journal. So there's that one, and then here's another, and this time I've used embossed vellum across the bottom of there. So you've got to be gentle with that vellum. It likes to crack a little bit. A little tip before you put vellum or any paper when you're doing a fairly thick emboss is to just spritz it lightly, the paper or the vellum, with a very thin mist spray, and that will keep it from cracking a bit. So there you go. Isn't that pretty? So that's really, I think it's sweet, and you could add a little bit of washi here or there, or so we'll see how we go. We'll do these first. I've got tags already done. They just need to be clipped at the top, just to save us time. I think there's 6 here, and I've got 6 book pages and 6 pieces of cardstock, and we got some tabs as well. Now these book pages are 6 1/8 by just shy of 3 3/4. I bought this book thinking that I would take my seam ripper and take out signatures from the book and use them in journals, but it wasn't bound in a way that they would come out. They were bound in a way that they would pull out instead, like rip out as single pages. So you could actually hinge them with paper if you wanted to use them in the journal, but I thought, you know what, these would be great to use for tags. So I've chosen, I've put the ones up that I want to use, and I just thought they lent themselves really well, with the image being at the top, to having a tuck spot at the bottom. So you're just going to get your glue, whether it's a glue stick or I've got art glitter glue, and we will just happily work along together and see how many of these I can get done in the time allotted to me. So that would be great. So I'm putting my glue all over. I am going to sew these, but I am going to wait for them to dry before I do that. So I'm just going to set this on. I've set it so that I get a little bit of a border with the cardstock around it. So there's one, like that, just a tiny bit. So set that aside, and we'll just very quickly, this is kind of a mass make, see how many of these we can get, whether we can get through the 6. I feel like we could. Now whether or not we get to sewing them all is that's another story. So I think Tracie made these as well. So it seemed fitting for me to put them in these journals. Whoops. It's hard for me to see where I am in terms of the border. And if you got it off, you know, crooked or whatever, you could always trim it or leave it as it is. We're not aiming for perfection, for sure. So apologies for the lighting. It is dark. It's 3 in the afternoon, and it's a very gray day. So I thought, well, you know what? I feel like doing some work in the craft room. The wall of craft is, I have to say, close to being finished. The first coat of paint is on, so that's great. So there we go. And we'll see, oh, which one? I think I want this one, mostly because I have more space for my tuck spot. And you don't have to use an embossed piece of paper for your tuck spot. You could use a piece of card that you've cut. You could do it any way that you'd like. So, looks about right. And if you're using glue stick, it's a little more forgiving for allowing you to move that image around a little bit. So what are you guys working on these days? I know some of you are following along and doing botanical journals too. I hope to finish up on my filming for ephemera and whatnot in the next week or so for the botanical journals and move on to a new project. But I've still got some fun things to make, so. I have to say the images in these books are beautiful. This was, I think, the Concise Oxford Guide to British Houseplants, I think. They're awfully hard to find. When I bought this one, and I got it on eBay over a year ago, I think I paid like maybe $8 for it, and I think now the prices are like everything else, just wild, absolutely wild. Isn't that gorgeous? A Cape Primrose. Okay, so we'll just set those back. The next thing I like to do is put on the tab on the top. So we'll do that for all 6, and then we'll put the pockets on, and we'll be cooking. So, like I said, you can use whatever glue works best for you. I like to center this at the top, and you could use lace as a tab. You could put a grommet, an eyelet in, and handle it that way. You do not have to do it the way I'm doing it, for sure. So, I'm trying to think. We have no new grandchildren's stories because I haven't seen them since the weekend. I have no doubt there will be more stories. There's just, as I said to my husband, grandchildren, they're the great equalizers, aren't they? They definitely keep us honest, that's for sure. I think I will put this one on here. They really do, oh my gosh, the stuff. And so I'm building on this wall of craft. What I'm hoping to do is to create kind of like a gallery wall of a lot of my paintings and projects and that sort of thing. So I'm excited to get that together, just to see how it fits in for the decor here in the craft room. So I think it's going to look great. But what's fun about that is I get to go back and look at paintings and whatnot that I did years ago. I think I'm going to try and put up my very first watercolor painting on the wall, just to give you a sense, or to give me a sense of beginnings. I think I want to put that blue one on, this blue flower. Just to show myself, where I've been and where I've gone and where I'm going, hopefully. And, being able to display my books and whatnot is also fantastic. Thank you so much. I have to say I was kind of overwhelmed with the lovely, lovely comments about Maker's Monday. Just a joy to do, I have to say. So, yeah, loving that. So thank you for your kind comments on that one as well. Seems so quiet. What do I expect? But for some reason it seems very peaceful today down here. It's probably the wall. Don't hear as much rumblings in the house. Okay, so we've got 6, and then I've got some vellum, and I have some. This is just that wrapping paper for parcels, and I quite like that as well. So we'll look at what we want to put where. I think I want to cut this at the bottom. I need a straight edge. And see how whether it'll cooperate. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it as I go. So I mean, it could go all the way, like doesn't have to come right to the corner. Let me just see. Oops. Let's put that on there. Like that. It'll come to there. And could fold over the edge if we wanted, but I think this will work. Save those. You never know what we might want to do with those. And then if you're worried about your paper being fragile when you're putting it on, then you could always back it on something. And I definitely could do that, but this is a tuck spot. I'm not too worried about it being treated too aggressively. So just stick it on like that. So that's one. You could go like this on this one. And will that fit? Oh, that's pretty perfect, isn't it? So I'm using the debossed side on this one rather than the embossed side. So it's the side that's got the sunken part of the image, and there's no reason why you can't use both sides. No reason at all. And can you see the pattern? Okay. And let's see. Let's use this. Oh, it's that side. Okay, that's fine. We'll just turn it around. I'll be honest, I prefer the brown paper on these to the white, or to the vellum. I just find it's, I don't know, I just like how much more the embossing shows up. So once again on this one, I'm using the debossed side as the tuck spot. So I put my glue at the bottom and along the side, like that. Whoa. So we got the glue. Okay. So I'm just going to set this in here to make sure that it doesn't lay on the glue. And we'll go this one. Okay. And just glue it on. I hope this isn't too boring for you. If you were worried about your vellum being very, very brittle, and it is brittle, but like I said, you just need to be gentle with it, then I would line it with another piece of vellum, and that might do the trick for you. Let's see. I'm going to tear that there, and just tear as we go. So I can set that on there like that. So in this case, I'm going to glue on the card because this is less, this is a bit oversized, and that way I can just move this over to the edges and then trim what I don't need. You can see the embossing there. So I'm just going to cut like that, like this. Yeah, it's so dark. It almost feels like, you know, the calm before a storm. Okay, we'll move this out of the way. And let's use another piece of this. Okay, and those want to come out because that's the way they were embossed. Okay. And I just angle it according to the making sure that the wider side is on the opposite side of where the flower is, or the image is. And there are bird pages like this too, and I know I have some that had the same issue with not being able to come out of the book as, you know, double pages. Just need to find them. I have so much in the craft room, and it's in disarray right now because of what's happening with the wall. Okay, so we'll just put these back in order so that we'll know that the first one, ideally, the first one should be dry. So let's try and do a bit of sewing on a couple of these. And I'm just gonna, I don't think I'm gonna need my glue anymore. So that's pretty simple to get results. I'll set my scissors here. I'm just gonna pull up my machine. It's on the floor. Whoops, apologies for the noise. And here we are. And I'm just gonna set it on straight stitch and just go at it. So I'm going to go down the edge of the white image, and then we're going to go across. Then we're going to come back up. I just like how it looks with the sewing on it, and it just gives it another texture. Cut it off so you can see the sewing on there. I think it really adds to it. I'll do another one. You probably don't want to spend this whole time watching me sew. So we'll do just this one more for now. And come back up. Try not to hit the table this time. Sorry, that did hit the tripod though. Okay, so that's all I'm going to be doing for the sewing. I will be sewing the others as well. But let's just trim the tops of these tags. I cut them out in my little cutter, and so that I had nice straight sides, and then I'll go back. I like to just do these little divots at the end from the tops. So this is great. I mean, it isn't taking me long. You've seen me make 6, and if you have tags that are already made, this one's got a little white at the top, then it works out really well. In that short of a time, we're able to do quite a few of these. So let me just move all of this out of the way, and let's pick out pick out some pretty images for these. So let's set this in here. I'm going to keep this very blue. Put this pretty blue one in there. Whoops. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that one. In there. One in there. These pretty birds here. And these pretty birds here. So we've got lots of great tag, and they could be a tuck spot in a journal as well. And I've got my little clips here. We could put the clips on. I just think that finishes them off. Put a little clip on each of them. And for some reason, I want to put it on the opposite side or on the same side of the smallest part of the tuck spot. So I think they look really, really good that way. And you could put labels on these too. Let me check time here in a second and then see if I have time to do a wee label. So you know what? I prefer this color blue with that topper. So, okay, we've got all of these beautiful tags. I do have some Tracie labels here. I don't have mine cut out. These are from her Random Science-y Labels Set 2. I'm just going to cut a few out with my big bulky scissors. So, and this is the way I cut them out. I go around the edge of I find a grouping and I kind of go around the edge of them. And I'm not trying to be precise. I mean, I don't want them to look like I've mangled them or anything, but I do want them. I don't worry about them being absolutely perfect. So we'll just take a few of these and look at how we might use a label or maybe some washi. We'll see. Let's see how we go. There we go. And then we're on to our last one. Okay, there we go. All right. So what you could do, let's pick a couple of, let's take this one and we'll take this one. And let me just set those over here for now. So what you could do is you could take and put a little label down here. If you wanted to, yeah, you could easily put a label down here actually. I like that label there. So I'm going to set that one there. Don't think I've used labels in the botanical journals yet. I see some fussy cutting in my future. So that fits, goes on well because this is a debossed one. So you could have it there. I like that one there. So we'll just stick this on. You cannot go wrong with Tracie's labels. I love them. And let's see, do we want a label down here? The other option is that you could do something like putting a label up here. Let's do that this time. Let's put a label up at the top. And if you want it, I'm going to turn it on its side so that we're going to see a little more of it. This one hasn't been sewn yet, so that works out even better. So I'm going to take it right to the edge so that it goes over the white. And so when it is sewn, you'll really see that label. And let's just do one more. This one has been sewn, so let's choose one that hasn't been sewn, because I think I want to do the same sort of thing with the specimen one. And then I'll just sew right over it. I don't like to put paper over sewing. I just find, first of all, it doesn't often stick as well as you might want. Yeah, I think it just looks a little tidier to have it up there. And you could absolutely put a piece of, let me just grab a piece of this. You could use it like a little piece of, this is Venetian paper or Italian paper. People have asked where I get it. I have gone on Etsy and just looked up Italian paper, and that's how I found it. And it's been a long time since I've had it, so yeah, there was nothing really super challenging about getting it that way. But like I said, I just don't know who it was. Oh, that's the exact same as up there. I don't think I want to do that. Instead, I'm going to take a piece of washi, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue down here, and I'm going to just attach that washi and take it right to the edge. You don't have to use a label. I think the washi looks really, really nice as well. So yeah, this one doesn't have anything on it, but I'll sort something out at some point. So there they are. Those are our tag tucks using book pages. And we've also used Tracie's bumper digitals as well. Aren't they sweet? I really, really like them. I like the Revamp. I like the original as well, but the Revamp's fun. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.